So y'all, if you thought Love and Atlanta season 13 couldn't get any wilder, think again. Because chili, oars are flying and fans are absolutely stunned right now. All over some Betha-thawed tea that just got leaked errantly. On the street is that Yandy Smith-Harris has straight up refused to film with Erica Mena after a betrayal so messy production couldn't even keep it under wraps. And here's where things get even crazier. Insiders are claiming that there was a whole scene shot full of tension between Yandy and Erica. But VH1 allegedly decided to cut it from the final episode. According to a now viral article making its rounds, the scene was so heated, so personal, it was pulled to avoid making things look even uglier than they already are on camera. Now the streets are talking, social media is on fire. And fans can't help but wonder what exactly went down between Yandy and Erica that made Yandy say, "Nah, I'm done." Was it something Erica said? Was it something she did, Kamira? Crossed? The line for real this time. Stay tuned because we're about to break it all down. The leaked reports to how the cast is reacting right now. So, the story really begins. A few weeks into filming Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's season 13. Things were already tense between Yandy and Erica Mena. Not because of anything the cameras had caught yet, but because of some Bibibi Hinthein's energy that everyone on set could feel. According to insiders, the tension wasn't about old beef. It was something fresh, something that had just recently gone down off camera. Production head Bentry trying to keep things professional, telling everyone to keep their persona separate from the show. But apparently that wasn't going to be possible this time. Word is Yandy had just found out about something Erica did. Something so shocking that even her closest friends couldn't calm her down. And while none of it was caught on official VH1 cameras, there was definitely somebody recording when Yandy stormed out of a set location, refusing to go back in. People who were there said it all started at a private cast dinner that wasn't even meant to be filmed. The whole vibe was supposed to be relaxed, just some of the ladies getting together off set. No storylines, no producers hovering. But that's when, according to leaked reports, Erica allegedly pulled out her phone and showed some screenshots around the table. The screenshots, from what insiders are saying, were private messages between Mendez and another woman. Not just any woman, those, though, according to Erica, had been in contact with her, claiming Mendez had been reaching out behind Yandy's back. Nobody knows exactly how Erica got those screenshots, but the minute she showed them, everything changed. Yandy wasn't there that night, but it didn't take long before the information made its way to her. The very next day, production was scheduled to film a group scene with Yandy, Erica, and some of the other ladies. But before cameras even started rolling, Yandy showed up looking completely different than usual. No smiles, no light energy. The mood was heavy. Insiders say as soon as she stepped onto set, the set, ked right up to Mendez, pulled him aside, and they had a quiet but clearly intense conversation off to the side. Nobody could hear exactly what was said, but people noticed Yandy's BOD language.e.stiff, arms crossed, her voiclo ut sharp. Mendez his hands up like he was trying to explain or calm things down, but Yandy wasn't having it. After that conversation, Yandy turned around, looked straight at the producers, and said she wasn't filming. The crew was stunned. According to multiple sources, Yandy made it clear right then and there she wasn't going to be in the same scene as Erica. She didn't even want to speak her name. Word spread fast, Ruth Stee. Set.et.et. Some people thought maybe it was just day and dad day, that Yandy would cool off after a few hours, but she didn't. Not that day and not the next. Production reportedly tried everything. Private meetings, phone calls, even offering to shoot scenes separately to keep the season moving. But Yandy was firm. She wasn't filming if Erica was involved. At first, some folks thought Yandy was just being extra. Like maybe she was playing it up for attention or trying to control her narrative on the show. But then came the article. Out of nowhere, a blog dropped a detailed post claiming to have inside information on what really happened. It said there was actual filmed with scene filmed cameras rolling. Audio caught where Yandy confronted Erica directly about the screenshots. According to the article, Yandy walked into a scene, straight up called Erica out in front of everyone, and things got so heated, producers had to step in between them. It wasn't just words either. Reportedly win-win moment where Yandy got up from her seat like she was ready to physically approach Erica. But security stepped in before anything could happen. What's wild is, fans never saw that scene. The article claimed VH1 cut the entire thing from the show, and not just for pacing reasons or editing choices. The article suggested it was because the Sito B Bishan Wu production reel to raw. Production didn't want to risk it problem G into a bigger personally, legally, and personally for the cast members involved. And once that article went live, fans started putting the pieces together. All of a sudden, people remembered how Yandy had been quiet on social media around that same Timwan there were where she wasn't posting her usual behind the scenes, the set.s or selfies from set. People started digging, rewatching episodes, trying to spot moments where things seemed edited awkwardly or where conversations felt incomplete. What made the story even crazier was that neither Yandy nor Erica publicly addressed the rumors right away. Both of them stayed quiet for days, which only fueled the speculation. Fans were in the comments asking both of them directly what really went down, tagging them under the article links, but there was no response. That silence made people believe the article even more, because usually if something wasn't true, Yandy or Erica would have jumped online quickly to clear the air. But this time, nothing. Even Mendeces did that say a word. Insiders, according to Insiders, was the most telling part. People close to this situation say Mend off guard complete off guarded by the whole thing, while he and Yandy had dealt with trust issues in the past. Like any couple in the Publi Differently situation, hit differently. According to folks Arabicas, Mendez was frustrated because, from his point of view, there was no real proof behind what Erica had shown. He allegedly kept telling Yandy that the screenshots were fake, that Erica was trying to stir up drama for the cameras, but Yandy wasn't hearing it for her. Just the fact that Erica would go out of her way to bring that kind of mess into their marriage was enough. Insiders say Yandy felt completely blindsided, not just by Erica's actions, but by the fact that production had let things get to that point without stepping in sooner. What's more, people on sets started noticing the divide between cast members growing. Some folks took Yandy's side, saying she was right to stand her ground and protect her peace. Others felt like Erica was just doing what our drama and Dan TV stars do, bringing the drama and keeping things interesting. But for Yandy, it wasn't about the show. According to those close to her, this was about respect, loyalty, and her family. And once she made her decision, she wasn't backing down. She told producers straight up that she wasn't playing into storylines that put her marriage in question just for ratings. Whether that was the real reason VH1 decided to cut the scene or not, nobody knows for sure. But one thing was clear: the energy on set had shifted for the better. After that shift on set, things didn't calm down the way some people had expected. Production had hoped that, with a little time, Yandy might cool off and agree to come back to filming like normal. But that wasn't what happened at all. In fact, sources say the divide only got wider as the days went on. Where once Yandy and Erica might have had small moments of tension that came and went, this time it felt permanent. People in the cast started picking sides quietly. Some of the girls stayed in touch with Yandy, checking in on her off-camera, while others kept filming with Erica like nothing happened, choosing not to get involved in the situation altogether. The way in-set seaters describe it, the atmosphere around Set 10 wasn't just awkward. It went along split down the middle. There were Dewanyer production had to plan two completely separate shooting schedules. One for scenes involving Erica and another for scenes involving Yandy just to keep the season moving. This meant extra costs, extra planning, and a whole lot of stress for everyone involved. Yet, according to sources close to Yandy, she wasn't concerned about any of that. Her focus was on protecting her peace, and she wasn't going to budge just because cameras were rolling. Fans start piecing this too. People watching season 13 episodes pointed out how strange it was that Yandy and Erica, two major names, weren't sharing scenes anymore. Viewers were quick to take to Twitter and Instagram, leaving comments like, "Where's Yano? Why is she missing from all the group scenes now?" Or something ain't right. Yandy and Erica got real beef or what? This speculation only pushed the leaked article further into the spotlight. Once again, blogs were reposting screenshots. Gossip pages were adding their own spin on the story, and fans were sharing their theories in comment sections. Their mutual friends had stopped liking each other's posts, too. It was a quiet signal, but a strong one. Followers noticed immediately. Comment sections blew up with people saying now, NS. Like S13 unfollowed a real it's real now and this. Ain't for TV. This real life drama. At the same time, Mendes kept his page mostly quiet. He posted regular family content, old photos, and business promotions, but nothing addressing the situation directly. According to insiders, that was intentional. Mendes didn't want to add fuel to the story by making public statements, especially with everything so sensitive production doors while all this was happening. Production continued filming as best they could. There were days when scenes were shot without either Yandy or Erica present, focusing instead on other cast members and side storylines. But the gap was noticeable. Fans watching the show kept pointing out how things felt different, slower, less connected, like something was missing. By particularly observant fan page posted side-by-side episode clips showing how pre-events, Sans, had Yandy front and center in group events, while now her presence was limited to smaller, more isolated moments. Comments under that post echoed the same thought. Everyone knew something bigger was going on behind the scenes. As for Yandy herself, insiders say she spent a lot of time focusing on her businesses and family while stepping back from the show's drama. She wasn't interested in jumping back into the mess just for the sake of appearances. Instead, those clothes, to her, say she was Love and Hip Hop her next move, not just with Love and Hip Hop, but with her public image overall. Even though there wasn't an official statement, an made clear to everyone watching that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 13 was dealing with a storyline that had gone way beyond what was planned. And for the cast and crew, the challenge wasn't just about salvaging the season. It was about figuring out whether things could ever go back to normal between Yandy, Mendes, and Erica after everything that had been exposed. Insiders close to production say that despite the headaches, producers were still hoping for a resolution. Some kind of on-camera moment where Yandy and Erica could at least vent if it wasn't a full reconciliation. But whether that would actually happen or not was anyone's guess. From what people could see, Yandy was standing firm. She wasn't filming. With Erica, she was unponing her usual behind-the-scenes content. A faking P-site faking, P-o-centristed in faking peace for the camera and energy around Love and Hip Hop Atlanta shifted. Ad completely shifted where the show once thrived on big stage group moments. Now it was working Grelon, real-life silence, and real reality that no amount of editing could fully hide. The tension behind the cameras wasn't just affecting filming schedules anymore. It had started affecting how the rest of the cast acted both on off screening. Sources say that people who weren't directly involved in the situation, like some of the newer cast members, suddenly found themselves choosing sides just to avoid drama falling back on them. Insiders claimed there were smaller arguments breaking out off camera. Little things about who is sitting where during group scenes, or who is invited to private cast events. One small argument between two supporting cast members reportedly started just because someone made a joke about Erica and Yandy's feud and another person didn't think it was funny. The mood had shifted to where nobody really knew who they could trust anymore. But the one thing everybody seemed to agree on was that something had happened that couldn't be ignored, whether people sided with Yandy or Erica. Everyone on set knew this wasn't some fake storyline cooked up by producers. Insiders described it as real emotion, real silence, real anger, and real distance. And what made it hit even harder for viewers was the fact that the show didn't openly address it in episodes. Scenes aired as usual, focusing on other LHHATL. But fans watching at home were noticing the gaps more and more. The editing started looking choppy to those paying attention. Group events felt smaller. Even scenes that used to show Yandy giving her usual commentary in those private confessionals seemed fewer and far between at this point. More articles started come out, building off that original leak. Blogs and fan pages were reporting on Yandy's refusal to film with Erica as if it was confirmed fact. Now, they pulled quotes from unnamed insiders, talked about contracts being rewritten, and even suggested that Yandy might be negotiating a new deal where she could continue filming her own separate scenes while keeping Erica completely off her schedule. One article specifically mentioned that Yandy was reportedly being offered additional compensation just to return to set under those new terms. Meanwhile, the cast's social media feeds stayed just as quiet as before. Both Yandy and Erica continued posting about their businesses, their families, and everything except the show. And for fans who followed both of them for years, that silence felt loud. People were filling up their comment sections with questions every single day, asking what happened, begging them to speak up. Some even accused them of letting down the fans by not telling the full story. Behind the scenes, according to insiders, production was running into even bigger problems. Reshoots were being scheduled not just to fill in missing footage, but to completely change the direction of certain storylines. Apparently, there were multiple episodes mid-season that had to be reworked at the last minute because key scenes were now unusable thanks to Yandy's refusal to film. Insiders say this cost VH1 more than they had planned for extra hours for editors, extra camera crews for reshoots, and bigger checks for cast members willing to step up and create new story arcs to keep things moving. Despite all of that, Yandy wasn't showing any signs of backing down. People close to her kept saying the same thing, that she felt like certain lines shouldn't be crossed just for entertainment. That no matter how much money or airtime was involved, there were things that should stay private. And in her mind, Erica crossing that line with the screenshots meant there was no going back. Insiders say Yandy made it very clear to producers that she didn't want to film any kind of fake apology scene or a sit-down moment just for the sake of wrapping up the season neatly. According to sources, producers even tried bringing in mediators to help smooth things over. There were private phone calls set up between show executives and Yandy's team, hoping to at least get her to agree to a neutral statement or a controlled social media post to calm fans down. But none of those efforts worked. Insiders say Yandy's team shut down every single offer, standing firm on her decision not to involve herself in scenes with Erica again. While all this was happening, Erica's team reportedly wasn't too worried about the backlash. People close to her claimed that she felt like she'd done her part by bringing drama and keeping things real. Some sources said Erica believed that eventually, KD would cool down and everything would return to normal, just like it had during past seasons when cast members fell out and made up again. But from what insiders could see, this time felt different. Even some of the production staff, who had worked on the show for years, were saying privately that they'd never seen Yandy this is serious about stepping back. What's wild is that all of this behind-the-scenes chaos didn't stop the show from airing on schedule. Episodes kept dropping weekly. And casual viewers who weren't following the gossip blogs might not have even noticed how much editing had changed. But for the real fans, it's the ones who watch every episode closely and who keep up with every cast member's Instagram stories and Twitter posts, it was obvious. There were constant tweets pointing out how awkward some scenes felt, like entire conversations had been cut out or like people were pretending not to notice who was missing from the group shots. Some fans even started creating their own fan-made edits, piecing together past scenes from older seasons to make it look like Yandy and Erica were still filming together. Those videos went viral in certain circles, racking up hundreds of thousands of views, but they only made the real situation feel more noticeable because everyone knew those clips were old. People in the comments would write things like, it's bad when fans have to edit Yandy and Erica back into the same scene. That kind of attention kept the drama going even when the cast stayed silent. By now, it wasn't just about the two of them anymore, and was being pulled into more and more gossip threads with fans wondering if he was the real reason. Things had gone left. Some people online accused him of hiding something. Others defended him, saying he looked just as caught off guard as Yandy when the screenshots surfaced. Insiders close to Mendez kept saying the same thing, that he'd been trying to smooth things over quietly behind the scenes. Not because he was guilty, but because he didn't want to see the family broken up over reality TV drama. According to those same insiders, Mendez had been pushing for private conversations with Yandy off camera. Friends say he kept reaching out, sending messages and making calls, asking her to meet him in person without any cameras or producers around. And while Yandy wasn't answering right away, sources say she wasn't shutting the door on him completely. Either, as much as she felt betrayed by how everything had played out, insiders said she still loved her husband. It was just a matter of figuring out how.